Nation Live, I'm James Owen.
I'm Sanders Tisdale.
Coming off a big loss at home to the Dallas Cowboys. We're going to talk about that later in the show. We're going to talk about the cheat goes on. NFL, them damn Chiefs cheating again. Referees cheat. We're going to talk about that. It's just not only in their game, but multiple games. We'll talk about that later. Offense, still the same old, same old. We're going to talk about what we can possibly do to fix this. And we're on the road next week in Las Vegas. When we return, Steel Nation Live.
Welcome back, Steel Nation Live. Sanders Tisdale.
James Owen.
Guys, like we said, a lot to talk about in this show. You know what? And am I happy? No. Is James happy? No. Are the guys out on all these message boards, are they happy? No. But the thing about it is that, like me and James just talked offline, what do you expect? Like we just said, James, we were just 3-0. 3-0 with a team that contained majority of guys who are first-time starters in the draft. We just automatically said, you know what? We need you now. Plug them in. What? And we were 3-0. Now injuries start to hit above our head, and all of a sudden, this is dropping off, that's dropping off, and then we got guys, crying already. It happens. Live with it. James, Pittsburgh, I think they're going to be there down the stretch, but the thing about it is they got some things they got to tighten up, especially that line. I'll admit it all. Tomlin, I think Tomlin's got to face a lot of stuff. There are a lot of people calling for his head, and sometimes I sit there and I say to myself, how could you be calling for him already? The guy was just 3-0 with young rookies, shut down a Denver Bronco team who just was won the last two games, so they're actually doing well. Pittsburgh held them to 6. Shut down an Atlanta team at the start of the season who had their top level quarterback. Now Atlanta's been winning games, and Atlanta's been looking better. Pittsburgh shut them down. You know what? Pittsburgh ran into a team, the Indianapolis Colts, a team that they probably should have beat. But you know what? Like we said, injuries started following the Steelers. We already are not dealing with Highsmith being out. We got young rookies, James, coming in there, and these young rookies are doing it. Guys, look at it. A young team like Pittsburgh, they're out there, they're pulling it. And as far as I'm concerned, we're doing magic again. We're doing magic. Right now, we lost the last two games, and we just played the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys were beat up. Now, just think about it, James. The Dallas Cowboys just had a game against the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore slaughtered them, destroyed them, ran all over them, and up another game before that. Pittsburgh's dealing with injuries, and especially when you got a young line that's injured right now, a young line that's banged up. We only got one running back. To me, that was a starter beyond Warren and Cordell Patterson. He's out. Come on, look, think. Watch TV, watch ESPN. Just watch something else more than ESPN so you can gather stuff and see what's really going on in Pittsburgh. And we're dealing with a lot of other situations out there. James, give us your take out there. We got, what I should have ran through the topics that we got to talk about today, and I'll run through them real quick before I give it over to James. We're going to talk about a stagnant offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Offensive line is offensive at the moment. Should we not switch quarterbacks now? And historically, the offense was good with 2 top wide receivers. Yeah, they were. Why isn't Roman Wilson starting? A lot of people want to know that. I want to know that as well. And also, where has Patrick Queen been? And, I like Patrick Queen. I think things are starting to round away. And also, defense needs to blitz more and move wide around. Love it. I love it. That's a good idea. And also, Pickens is fine, just frustrated. But you know what? He still has to work on it. And now saying all that, the topics we're going to talk about tonight, get a lot of feedback from guys online. James.
Yes.
What is your thought? Watching this game versus the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Probably not the best feeling you had that night.
No, it's not.
Your hot chocolate. And
well, let's look at the game at hand first of all. An hour and a half rain delay. Now it was for both teams, so there's no excuses on the Pittsburgh Steelers end. But what's the main focal point of the Pittsburgh Steelers and I would say not a downfall, but why they're not playing so good? And you touched on it, Sanders, 3 seconds ago about injuries. It's no excuse either. We've always had the concept next man up. That's what Tomlin, that's one of his phrases, his focal points. And usually it helps out, but this is too early in the season for not being able to, for the next man up. So that rain delay, both teams, you can't even talk about that. Now, the offense, what is going on with the offense? We haven't seen a powerful offense in years. We had Matt Canada come in here, and he took over, and he just did the same stagnant stuff year after year, and he gets gone. And then we get Arthur Smith, who used to be head coach for the Atlanta Falcons. Now our offensive coordinator is supposed to come in with some wizardry on offense. And I know there's only so much you can do. There's players, there's plays, whatever. And that's failing too. I mean, it's just, what you're going to get with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, my theory is, and we talked about the South Line Standards, and folks at home, 585-210-3917. Let's hear your thoughts too. But I go back to the days of Terry Bradshaw, one of the not so good quarterbacks in the NFL back then from Louisiana. And he just really barely made the team. And, he was drafted late in the draft, and he got to start by chance, injuries, whatever. And still, by doing that, he was almost benched because of his play. So why did the Pittsburgh Steelers back then start winning Super Bowls? Well, of course, we got the steel curtain, and defenses win championships. That helps out a lot as well. I'm not going to, say it was all on the offense, but if you think about it, do the math, folks. Those years that the Pittsburgh Steelers won Super Bowls, made it to Super Bowls, the quarterback they had always had two top-tier wide receivers. They had a pretty good running game. Not solid like when Jerome Bettis was running. Let's get back to the Franco Harris, Rocky Bleier days. Now, if you saw a couple weeks ago, we had Rocky Bleier on the show. Steeler Nation Live, we know how to get these guys. Rocky Bleier, superhero. There he is right there. If you're watching at home on the screen, Rocky Bleier is on the show. Won a bunch of Super Bowls with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But how was that offense any different? They had a great offensive line coach. I guess you could throw that in there too. But as a mediocre running game. Ground and pound. How were they able to do that? Two top-tier wide receivers. Lynn Swann, John Stallworth. Fast forward a couple years ahead. Ben Roethlisberger comes in too, right? He starts his career as a rookie, 15-1 in the season. How did he achieve that? He had wide receivers that he can throw to. He also had decent running backs. So if you have one wide receiver and one running back, that kind of narrows down your offensive scheme. You have to, call plays and do things with what you have to work with. Now, with injuries, every team has injuries, and it's going to happen to you out there. If you're not a Steeler fan, it's going to happen. But when you look at who we have a quarterback now, we have Justin Fields, got beat up in Chicago, had nobody. They refused to build around him, release him, draft a quarterback, and try to build around him. Not doing so good. So the Pittsburgh Steelers, when you look at it, and we also have Russell Wilson too, a Super Bowl champion, probably first-time Hall of Fame ballot. Now, when you have these guys in there and you don't have the time to throw the ball, or you don't have anybody to throw to, that kind of changes your whole offensive outlook. So when people are staring, what is wrong with this? What do we have to do? What's going on? I'm telling you, this is what's going to happen with the Pittsburgh Steelers if we get, or when we get, another wide receiver. Now, the word on the street is before with Brandon Ayuk and then Devontae Adams, his name got tossed around, DeAndre Hopkins. But now it's getting to a point where the Pittsburgh Steelers really have to scratch their heads and really put their heads together and seriously consider getting one of these wide receivers. Hence, therefore, number 17, I'm wearing the jersey right now. If we get Devontae Adams, I guarantee you, we're going to do a lot better on offense. I'm telling you that. All the pressure is going to be off of Pickens. Now, there's naysayers out there. They're like, well, you know how Pickens is. He wants the ball all the time and blah, 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 because, he's going to cause problems. That it's going to be worse off if we get another receiver. No, what I actually think, Pickens is young. He's immature. He's finally starting to mature. People just need to leave him alone, let him play his game. stop starting stuff on social media, what this kid says or does or whatever. And we'll talk about the last play of the game of the Pittsburgh Steelers Dallas game, that little interaction he had with the cornerback from Dallas, who was taunting him all game, which, you talk crap all game. I get it. And then at the end of the game, when the game was over, he ran into Pickens' face, got in his face. And what do you want Pickens to do? Right? Yeah. 2 fingers, pulled him down. It's his own problem. It's his own problem. And as long as we leave Pickens alone, let him do his thing, give him somebody to share that football with, I guarantee you the Pittsburgh Steelers offense will turn around. So we had a caller. I think it may have been San Fran Steve. Call back, San Fran. We
for some reason they just cut out on him.
That's all right. It happens. But anyways, if you want to think about, it's a possibility. It's not the final answer. It's not like I know it's 100%. This is my take in looking back at the history of the Pittsburgh Steelers, how and why and when we're so good on offense. It really wasn't necessarily the play of the quarterback, but who the quarterback had to play to. And the Steelers always had at least 2 good wide receivers and a really good running game to win games and to keep us in the game. So, I mean, the Dallas Cowboy game, I mean, if you check the stats, we have a phone caller here. Yep.
Let's grab this.
We'll grab this call and we'll talk about the stats in a minute.
At least, there we go. Hey, welcome to Steeler Nation Live. Who do we have on the line?
The Swami.
Oh boy,
the Swami.
And you know what, San Fran Steve, I think you hit it. I think you said 2017 Cowboys. I think you predicted the score.
I think he did.
Oh, I predicted that score 100%. First of all, I don't want to hear the pity party. You know what? Your team is still 1 game ahead of my team, and my team's right now is sucking real bad. Why don't we switch head coach? That way you get the that offensive mastermind head coach that you guys really need, and we can get a defensive coordinator and maybe we get a real head coach that will learn how to time manage when you're up by 10 points in the second half and you blow that lead. So, but Pickens is a little baby dude. You know what? He was jaw-jacking. The Cowboys were jaw-jacking. I know at the end of the game he went back to the hoodlum ways that he grew up with and decided just to pull that guy down. I don't want to hear anything about Pickens as a mature receiver. He's just a young kid that doesn't know any better.
Well, in case you missed it, I don't know if you saw the whole video earlier during the game where he was playing, tackling him dirty. He grabbed his ankle. He twisted his leg. There's a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I get it. A lot of jaw talking. But you know what? If he didn't get in Pickens' face, we wouldn't be talking about this. So if he had the balls to get in his face, it's F around and find out. I mean, what would you want him to do? I mean, he's angry, he lost, he's walking off the field, and some guy gets in his face and talks shit. Of course what do you want him to do? I mean, it wasn't Pickens didn't listen. Pickens didn't go after him. He went after Pickens. And you know what?
Yeah, that's true.
We only caught the last part of the thing. There's more. Let's roll the cameras all the way back and see. But they only caught the last part of it. So we really can.
He's walking past him. He gets up, jumps in his face, and starts talking. Of course. What do you want Pickens to do? And say, all right, you're right. Shake hands. Good game. No, you've been talking crap all game. He jumps up, runs, and gets in his face. He has no recourse. I mean, come on.
Oh, and don't get me wrong. Now the guy did a good job covering Pickens all game.
Sure,
and he was talking garbage, and they both probably was talking garbage
for sure.
But I admit, because at first when I seen him do it, I was like, what is Pickens doing? But then when I seen it, they showed it again with the tape, and then I seen the guy get in his face,
got up and ran to him.
I was like, well,
F around to find out.
But there's other things that go besides that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So when you play sports, either at the high school level, college level, or competitive outside, like the Thanksgiving game, and you guys do something, you're able to shut down the number one, and yep, we got you in this, we got you, blah blah blah. Yep, it's going to happen, and no, but you got to control your anger.
I agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
in the last 3 years has not been able to control his anger for anything. And do you guys need another receiver? Yeah, but do you want the headaches that Devontae Adams has? I think he's going to go to the Jets since the Jets has fired their head coach, and now Aaron Rodgers is going to be the head coach / quarterback. Who knows who they're going to pick up?
We were just talking about that.
well, you know what? We'll take DeAndre Hopkins too. I mean, they're both comparable. I mean, they're both 31, 32. They're both the same size, 6'1", 6'2", about 215 pounds. I mean, they drafted high to draft. Let's see, Fresno State for Devontae Adams. He was picked in the second round. DeAndre Hopkins was picked in the first round by the Titans. I mean, it's just, we're not looking for a save all. We're looking for a stop the bleeding all in something that we can develop into some sort of an offense. But like I said, you can't have just one wide receiver. You can't. And we signed over 11 wide receivers, and we got Van Jefferson, we got Scotty Miller. We have a third-round draft pick from Michigan, Roman Wilson, who is one of the top wide receivers in college football, drafted in the third round. Can't believe he got that low. He got injured 6 minutes in the training camp last year and got hurt. He's healthy. He's ready to go. Why are we playing him? And in the meantime, we have to get somebody in there on I say daily, but on a game day basis, consistent wide receivers, and we're not getting that. So what they're doing is they're dropping corners, nickel backs, they're adding a defensive lineman, stacking the box, and they're preventing any kind of run game and telling them, you got to throw the ball, and we're having problems.
What feels he's the guy that he's not a Russell Wilson. They'll sit back there and hold off, which I don't think. I'm just not happy with your with you guys picked two quarterbacks and you had that competition all throughout. There's going to be some issues there, but as for the two receivers that you talked about, Pickens and Hopkins, or Devontae Adams and Hopkins, they're going to start looking at, I want to be traded. When Adams already said that, he's going to pick a team. He's going to go to a playoff team that has a chance to win the Super Bowl. And I have a feeling right now, until you guys push a little harder and making some offensive noise, it's going to be a while before maybe the next draft before you get a number one receiver.
But here's the deal. I understand completely. Makes total sense. But think of it this way, flip the coin over. What can I do to bring to this team to make them better? Because it's all about egos. I could go into Pittsburgh and I can make them a championship team. You got to look at it that way too. You want to come in a situation where, hey, they're going to be looking at me. I'm going to be the playmaker, and I'm going to change this offensive direction. I can do it. So that's another, the flip side of the coin. I mean, I used 100% what you said, Steve, 100% right. But you got to look at it, and
maybe.
He's a prima donna. You got to look at his perspective. Yeah, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do it all. Cool. Like it. Yeah.
Well, maybe you guys go after Cole Beasley. I don't think he's ready to give it up yet.
No,
Cole Beasley.
We dealt with wide receivers like that. Switzer, who is phenomenal with the Bills and the Cowboys, and you think that he would add something to the team, and he just come in there and Ray McFumble, him too. It's, we get these guys secondhand who've done good things with other teams and expect them to excel in our team, different strategies, and it's not working out. It's not.
Well, you guys go through receivers like Cleveland goes through quarterbacks.
And massage parlors.
Well, I don't know. That's right. He got new charges. Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Steve, before we got any further, I don't know. The San Francisco 49ers played this weekend. I don't know. Did you catch?
Got embarrassed. They made Arizona look like a Super Bowl contender.
Hey, we know all about that. The past two games we've been doing it too. So
yeah,
we're in the same boat.
Oh, I blew up my team. I blew up my team saying that. Yeah,
no, you did.
We're in the same situation. We give up leads and we have leads and we can't figure out. And that's all coaching. That's 100% coaching right there. If you go on to the 49ers websites and they talk shit, and they're all like, they all want the head coaches to get moved out, but it's not just the coach. It's just like the players. You look at the CMC. He overtrains, and that's why he's hurt this year.
Well, that's a facet.
I also mentioned on.
That's a facet of the game where you take him out of the game, where where defenses and teams are more apt to build their defense around him, that they lose focus on the other players. And I think I know one player can't win a game for a team, but he certainly can help. He can change the outlook of any game. If he's in there and he's healthy, now the defense has got to zone in on the running game and, use their resources to try and stop him that way. Meanwhile, Ayuk and Deebo Samuels is running wild, and don't forget Kittle. I mean, one player can change the outlook of a whole game. And look at us defensively with TJ Watt, what he's doing for the defense. You rarely hear anybody else's name called on the defense. So I think if McCaffrey was still playing, he's still healthy, we're talking about a different, you're like 4-1 at this point, maybe, with the 49ers. I don't, no doubt.
The only team that really beat them really bad was the Vikings. So
yeah.
So here's it, and I think our defense is missing Greenlaw in the worst way. You just can't put everything on everything else, but it's just like they're not getting to the passer and everything. And I just feel that the 49ers, if they don't turn their stuff around, you're going to see the same thing happen with what happened to the Jets soon. It's just like, here, Kyle, here's the door. You have a Super Bowl contending team, and you're 2-3 right now.
Well, it's still early in the season, so there's a lot of time. I mean, guys come back from injuries. There's still a lot of time left in the season to recoup and to get back on. I mean, I'd rather have this happen now, early in the season, as opposed to late, getting ready for playoffs, that you're losing people in injuries. Get it out of the way now and try to figure something out in the long run. So, Steve, while we got you on the phone there, scores. Okay. Pittsburgh is going out west to the Vegas Raiders. Believe it or not, we're +3 on the road in Las Vegas. Raiders have been playing like shit too. So it might be the toilet bowl out there in Vegas. Give us the score.
Well, this quick. You guys you're playing in Vegas. Max Crosby's still healthy. I think he's gonna. He could be destructive. Let's go 2016. And I'll see you guys.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, we're projected a 56% chance of winning this game.
What do you say? 2016?
2016, yeah.
Okay. 2016.
That sounds like
because the Raiders just benched Kershaw, so it's just like the mad mustache guy isn't going to be playing that much. He won't be playing unless there's an injury. So
well, I don't know about that. I mean, he was playing horrible. They benched him and put in Aiden O'Connell, and he wasn't that better either. So I mean, I expect Minshew to be playing, because the last time the Pittsburgh Steelers played O'Connell was we tore him up. So we haven't played Minshew, and I think the Raiders might be playing off of that. So the not knowing how he plays might confuse the Steelers defense. Not sure, but
speaking of that, who does San Fran play this weekend?
Yeah, who do you guys play?
The Seahawks.
Oh, at Seattle, that's right. Ooh, Thursday. That's going to be a great game.
Give us a score, Stevie.
Uh-oh. Let's hear from your head, not from your heart.
Seattle 23-19.
All right.
Seattle.
Yep. I was going to say Seattle 27, 49ers 14.
Yeah. Hey, honesty. I love it. Hey,
I just wish.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, and I really wish that I could be on the line when Cowboy Kenny calls. I'm like, like I said last week, there was no hope for. He gave his team no hope, but I did. You guys kind of should be lucky that Micah Parsons didn't play. I think he would have frustrated your quarterback a little bit more. So you guys got lucky with that one.
The way we played that day, I can get along with it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Hey, Stevie, we got to let you go, brother. I'm getting calls back to back. Hey, my dog, I got you. 23-19 Seattle, 2016 Pittsburgh. You was on the button this week. I got to give you that. He was one of the
Gold
ones.
star. He got the gold star. The golden
20
helmet.
to 17. He called the exact score, and that's exactly what it was. He called the Cowboys. They came out on top. So I'm pretty sure we'll be getting some Cowboy calls later on too.
Yeah,
so.
Your supply of pierogies.
Only the good ones.
Oh, yeah. Cheddar.
All right,
cheddar.
guys, have a good one. I gotta get going.
All right, we'll
All
talk
right,
to you
my
next
brother.
week. San Fran Steve on the phone here, Steel Nation Live, folks. Look, I tell you, it's sad that if you're not a Steeler fan, I understand we can't be perfect, right, Sanders?
That's true.
But
That's
if you
true.
do want to call and you're not a Steeler fan, please, we want you to call.
It's football, baby.
Yeah, we want to hear it from your side of the fence. Well, we don't bash you guys. We don't try to embarrass you, whatever. Call us, 585-210-3917. That's a phone call here to Steeler Nation Live. We want you to call. If you're too shy, message board. We might have a special guest coming on the show later, maybe possibly the Big Ragu.
No,
Joe Spano? No, you don't
I got
think
a
so?
message. I think the Big Ragu.
Oh, boy.
Yep. He had his hand in the sauce and he couldn't get on.
Oh, Lord. Oh, well, so much for that.
But let's talk about that with the Steelers, the stagnant offensive line. That was one of the topics we're really talking about, and it's been plaguing the Steelers for a long time. And James, I don't know if a lot of you guys who Steelers fans, it never fails. I mean, we go from season to season to season, and it's been ever since. Probably to me, like a little when Ben was there, how the line was getting so stagnant. Remember, we had to shorten the game up and make it to where Ben was doing these short little 5-yard pops, this, that, and it's like that. That line never recovered ever since the days of Pouncey and the rest of that crew that was on there. That line just was always decimated, never recovered. I don't know what it is the Steelers need, and we talked about it offline. The fact that the Steelers possibly, you got a coach who's a defensive-minded coach, and you got him trying to get these high-powered offensive players. It should that be the case? Granted, you got a young guy that's going to do it, right here, Omar Khan. But the Steelers right now, they need somebody who knows how to run that ball, who knows how to get them off their mark and get it going. I mean, James, what do you think? That's a lot of the problems I know.
Well,
as the Steelers at that offensive line. You get a great offensive line, you're apt to do anything in any league, any team.
So Saturday, between jobs, I was sitting down watching the Penn State UCLA game, and I was so impressed. I'm a little biased, Sanders, a little biased because I'm a Penn State fan. Watching how their offensive line operated, it was amazing. It looked as though the UCLA Bruins defense was on roller skates. These guys were running the ball effectively, the cross blocks, and just the pushing off the line and pushing these defenders back. And I was thinking about the old days, like you're talking about with pouncing the center, and it's just the way the offense of the Pittsburgh Steelers used to run and control the game offensively. It didn't hurt us. We had Jerome Bettis in the backfield. We had a bunch of a plethora of decent sized running backs. Tim Worley, Deuce Staley, those guys coming in there and producing. Let's not forget Le'Veon Bell, Fast Willie Parker. Well, Fast Willie Parker was on the show not too long ago. We're going to try and get him back on. But like you said, that offensive line can pretty much controls the game, Sanders. But we have a new offensive line, pretty much. I know it's not an excuse, but it's just a fact. Brand new center, and a lot of people complaining that Fields is not getting the snaps properly. Well, it takes time. Practice, and down the road, it's through attrition, it's gonna happen. However, it's gonna take some time. You got to be patient. And like I said earlier about the wide receivers, if you don't really have the push on the offensive line to get the running back and make the holes for the like Najee and Jalen Warren who have to create stuff, that's where injuries happen. And if you have an outlet to throw the wide receivers, then you can use it. But if you don't have that, I mean, next step is the tight ends. We're not using the tight ends either. And we talked about this last show, Sanders, that what does Najee have to do to start getting warmed up to the game? Swing passes. That's where he was a gem against the Cowboys. I mean, the swing passes, and that's where he got most of his yards. But offenses need to gel, and it takes time. Some offenses get it together quicker than others. But when you throw in injuries, And you have like draft picks, like Roger Jones, who gets drafted as a left tackle. Now he's playing right tackle, and you're switching up spots, right guard, left guard, and you're not consistently playing your position. That doesn't help out either. So, I mean, folks, you could say it's whining. You could say it's making up excuses, but you know what? Fact is a fact is a fact. That's what Shakespeare said. So getting back to that, Sanders, I mean, yeah, we still have a lot of time. It's early in the season, and hopefully we will get our stuff together for the offensive line and start creating. I mean, we proved that the first 3 games we won, we controlled the clock, we controlled the ball.
Right.
And having a quarterback who can run like Justin Fields, and the thing about it is he's not running for his life as he did in Chicago. He's calling his own numbers. He's not afraid to take a hit. He's getting the ball down there and extending plays. And for Russell Wilson, let's talk about that. And for Russell Wilson to come in now, unless there's a new offensive line that I don't know about, he's going to be coming into the same situation. The only problem with that is he's not as mobile as Justin Fields.
Correct.
He's a pocket passer.
Yep.
He does have some leg.
Mhm.
He can't run if he has to.
Right.
If he has to. And why do I make a point about that? It's because the defenses do not know if Fields is going to call his number, he's going to run, as opposed to being chased out of pocket and running for his life. Caller on the line.
Welcome to Steeler Nation Live. Who do we have on the line?
Yippee-ki-yay!
Hang up.
Yeah.
Hang up. Hang up.
Hey, guys, you know what? I knew it was coming.
Oh,
We
man.
got on the phone with Cowboy Kenny.
Dreading this all day.
I know.
I just want to know what happened. What happened?
Let's see.
What happened?
You know what? Even
I had
listen,
y'all to
I'll
win
tell
this
you what
game.
happened.
I had y'all
Listen,
to win this.
listen. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, that's true.
Just saying. Just saying there, Cowboy Kenny. And I did go to the Outback Steakhouse the other night, and I did think of you. A lot of birthdays
Kenny.
going on, a lot of yoo-hoo going on. I'm like, oh man.
I hope you had some of that ground round.
Oh God. I had some beers that drowned.
Hey, I will say this. Cowboy Kenny, I will say this. You guys did what you needed to do. I mean, you guys were decimated. I got no excuse for it either. You guys were decimated. You guys were beat up just like we were. And sometimes in some aspects worse. And we have players that did go out like later on in the game or whatever. But
Look, they
it
beat
is
us
what it is.
by 3 points.
Yeah, but still.
I mean, they're decimated. We're decimated.
But we didn't do the things. We didn't do the things that we needed to do to win the game. We
did a lot of things to lose the game.
Right.
I'll tell you that.
We fought hard to lose, and we did.
And we did a great job at it.
That could have went either way, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
If Dak didn't recover that fumble, it was a wrap.
Yep, that was huge. I mean, when I seen that fumble come out, that was huge. And he picked it up. I was like, God.
And I did this.
When I saw
Click.
I
Good
stopped
night.
breathing, man. My heart stopped beating. I stopped breathing. I was in there like, oh.
Listen.
We're gonna go at halftime. We get down to the red zone and throw it in.
Listen, when the
At
Steelers
the end of the game, we get down there and fumble.
When the Steelers are on, I have the ambulance in my driveway. I have, even though I feed them, come on inside, and Steelers are on, come on in. Because I don't know about you, but how many times you ever watch the Steelers play, but I can't remember within the past 10 years, a Steeler game where you could actually sit down there, have a beer, have some chips, enjoy the game. I can't remember. It's always at the edge of your seat. Oh my God. It gets to a point, Kenny. It gets to a point where the Steelers are losing, and you like that position because you want to be the comeback kid and win it, as opposed to sitting there, oh my God, how are we going to screw this up now? But we got to change things.
Like San Fran Steve and the San Francisco's, right?
Right.
Oh, San Fran Steve, if you're listening.
Oh man.
Yeah,
that was incredible. I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah.
What happened there?
Right. They were up one time at what was the score? Wasn't it like 20 something to like 3 or something?
Oh, the 49ers?
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about
3?
that.
Yeah.
23 to 3.
You noticed
23 to 3.
Yeah, he kind of shied away from that.
He know the score. He said 23-3.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, they were.
23-3.
They were 23-3. They were up, and they
lost
lost
24-23.
Yeah.
Was that fine?
In the fourth quarter.
Yep.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah.
All in the fourth quarter.
Oh.
So let me ask you this. You guys, you did what you needed to do. You came into Pittsburgh. You made us bow. What else can I say? We didn't play.
Yeah.
We find ways to lose, and we tried it hard, and we did it. And you guys won the game. Now you guys got a long season. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying it wasn't even about winning. It was about who wanted to lose less. 'Cause we was turning over the ball left and right.
That's true. That's what I said. I mean, we did
like we had this conversation. We only had one punt. Everything else was a turnover, a fumble,
I know.
or
Isn't that incredible? They had one punt. They punted once.
Nah.
They punted one time, and they won the game by 3 points.
Ugh.
Like I said,
all I gotta say, I want to see Reggie Fresh. Where is Reggie Fresh?
Oh,
All
man,
that stuff he was talking last week about the Cowboys. And, I want to hear what he got to say. Y'all get him on the show.
He's coming on, brother. He's coming on. I'm gonna let him know. Cowboy Kitty calling him out.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Hey, Cowboy
going
Kitty.
in on our Cowboys. Yeah.
Well, he can call DJ Reggie Fresh on DJ Reggie Fresh show. He doesn't have to go through us. I mean, if he wants to call Reggie, he can call him. Just look him up. Right?
Okay.
Reggie. Yep.
Yeah.
MC Reggie Fresh.
MC Reggie. I said DJ.
Reggie Fresh.
Yeah. Oh, you know what?
Reggie.
Yeah. I wish I was. You know what? I had something up I should have brought it, but I want some of his logos and stuff and how his show and how everything is. But I'll put it up on the next show. But like I said, Ken, give us a score for the next Cowboy game and give us a score for the Steeler game. Do you know who the Cowboys play this week?
We are.
I think you got a big game.
What
You got
is that
Cincy or somebody?
Yeah,
Detroit.
we
You
got
got Detroit. Detroit's coming to
Is it
Dallas.
Detroit?
Yeah, 4:00 game Sunday.
See, I had an 8-8 season for us, and that was one of the losses I had for us. And I think Detroit, they're I don't know, because we're gonna get all happy and stuff, and then this week they're gonna come in. We ain't win a home game since last season. You know that, right?
Yeah, we try to keep this, a family show. We don't want our guests flipping out and cursing us out and just bringing up some facts. So we kind of let that slide. But since you brought it up, I think you're actually correct.
Yeah, we haven't won a home game since last year. I'm serious. I'm a realist.
About
I will
that,
speak
yeah.
to facts.
Well,
I am. I love my Cowboys, but I tell it like it is, like you gentlemen do. Even when you say the Steelers play beneath their level, when
you
they're
got to call them out
or down to the level.
Yeah, you got to call them out.
And
Here's a good here's something on the board here too as well. Carl Colangio, I don't know, I'm always mess his name, but he says offensive line, defense, receivers, running game, safeties getting burned. Very disappointing performance. We got outcoached by McCarthy of all people. And it is.
That's terrible.
Oh man,
That's terrible. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, who do you guys play?
Could have went either
They
way.
play
man.
the Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
give me a score. Give me a
We're
score.
taking the L. We're taking an L, man.
Good man.
We're at home too. We're taking an L. I'm gonna go with we probably kicked 5 field goals, so I'm gonna say 20-15.
2015. Who the Lions?
I think
Detroit,
I think they're gonna score more than 20 points.
2015 Lions.
St. Brown. It's gonna just decimate
Hold
the
on.
secondary.
Is Micah and Lawrence coming back this week?
No.
No, they're going to be out
No.
for a little bit. You
Yeah.
guys have been banged up for a while.
Yeah.
You're screwed.
But I gotta say, the second team that came in,
Right.
they were young, but they were playing with a lot of heart, man.
Oh, yeah, like I
And,
said, y'all was
I
out
think
there.
Overshown was really leading them, man. Because
Overshown.
that dude right there.
He's
Yeah.
he's a physical defensive back. I got to give it to him.
But
He played like the Steelers. That's what I say. He played defense like the Steelers. What y'all known for?
Well,
You know
yeah,
what I
for
mean?
being physical. Yeah, but you got to play on the Steelers to do that.
Well, I got to tell you that Micah Parsons is still in Pittsburgh. Just so you know, Kenny. He hasn't
Wow.
left Pittsburgh yet. So what does that tell you? Just saying.
So don't be implying anything.
No, I mean, if you follow the Cowboys, when Micah was having his little issue a couple games ago about his contract, Mike Tomlin's name was brought up. I'm pretty sure you know about that. If he ever left Dallas, he'd only want to play for Mike Tomlin. He comes to Pittsburgh. He's still in town. I don't think it's
Why
the
are you speaking of
pierogies.
such blasphemy?
I don't think it's the pierogies. I think he might be having some dinner, Permane Brothers, with Mike Tomlin.
Hey, well, Ken, give me a score for the Cowboys versus the Vegas Raiders.
You mean the Steelers against the Raiders?
Yeah, sorry.
Steelers.
He's hungry. He hasn't eaten dinner
Steelers.
yet.
I
That's
think
true.
y'all gonna win this one, man. I think y'all got this. You know, the Raiders. They're
They got problems
everywhere.
But as I always
so
say,
do we.
Pittsburgh loves playing down to the level of competition.
Playing down.
Yep.
But y'all under Tomlin, man, y'all had all winning seasons.
17 years. Unheard of. He needs to be fired. He needs to be fired.
Yeah, I know.
Get rid of him.
I've been seeing that all over Facebook too.
Jesus.
Hey, dude, would you count 8-8 a winning season?
No, I wouldn't call it a winning season, but you can't call it a losing season.
There you go.
Yeah,
I mean,
but how many of those we had?
Well, the Cowboys had a lot too.
Another one.
You had
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot too.
Yeah, a lot of
Those are
8-8
losing
with
seasons.
Romo and that.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Here's my take, Kenny. And it might sound a little crazy or whatever, but if you don't win the Super Bowl, that's a losing season. That's me.
Yeah.
You play
true.
to win the game. You
Yep.
play to win the game.
All right, Ken, give me a score.
I think the Steelers got this, man. I think the Steelers going to win probably 28-17.
Wow, 4
I
touchdowns.
like that.
Wow.
You guys were
think-
close last time too. I mean, both of y'all. You and San Fran Steve, Cowboy King and
Yeah,
San Fran
I
Steve,
said-
they were damn near close with the scores, man. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, 28 points.
I
Wow.
was thinking Pittsburgh will win at 27.
Yeah, I know you called it for the wrong team though, but he did. He called it.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. And for you,
Crazy.
almost got a year's supply of pierogies.
Pierogies.
Hey, that's a
Down.
delicacy in
Cowboys will-
Pittsburgh, pal.
Also, Carl
Yo,
Colangelo, he also
us
said
Cowboys,
too.
We'll put it on the grill.
Put on the grill.
We'll smoke it. We'll do anything. Throw some barbecue sauce on there.
Carl Colangelo said the Steelers D allowed too many yards. Dallas, all of a sudden, you got a running game, and it was right.
Yeah, Dak
I
did
mean,
everything he could.
We did everything we could to
When he
lose.
threw-
Yeah, Dak did everything to throw the
When he-
game. Threw interception, fumbled
when
a
he
couple
threw the
times.
fullback,
Hmm.
yeah, he did 2 interceptions and a fumble.
Yeah.
But when he threw to the fullback,
Dowdle?
that when he got the first down, remember that? Not Dowdle.
No, I don't want to remember.
Get it.
You don't want to remember.
It's too
But
painful.
that wasn't. He reminded me of that fullback on San Francisco's team. He was running like that guy.
Oh man, I know you're
Came out
talking
of
about 44. What's his name?
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
I know
Polish.
exactly what you're talking about.
And I think his number is 40. The guy that I'm talking about on Dallas. But they have the same kind of running style.
Yeah, man.
Bulldozing.
Just a good old boy.
Well, like I said,
And Zeke didn't do nothing. You ain't
Was-
seen that, right?
Did he even play?
no, he played. He ran a
What,
couple
two plays?
times, but it was like not
Yeah.
noteworthy. But
Nothing
he,
impactful.
yeah,
Yeah.
that you didn't even look at you. You didn't realize he carried the ball.
Too bad you got him instead of Derrick Henry, huh?
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Don't remind me.
Too soon?
Come
Too soon?
on, man.
He said too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Too soon. Especially the way he ran over us.
Well,
Right.
you know what? Let me tell you something. Even if the Cowboys played the best they've ever played in football, made it to the Super Bowl, you know who they're going to play and you know who they're going to lose to. And you know what? It's not us. And you know them damn Kansas City Chiefs. You know, there's nobody's going to beat them this year. They're going to the Super Bowl. They're going to win it all. They may throw a game or two, but there's no way in God's green earth that anybody's going to really beat these Chiefs. Legit.
Yeah, because they be doing magician tricks and stuff.
Yeah,
Like
right.
they playing basketball, passing behind their back.
Listen, no. I'm talking full-fledged cover up, conspiracy, call what you want. Now these referees are they don't care anymore.
Oh yeah,
they don't
that's
care
a whole
anymore.
nother-
I mean,
Yeah.
usually you watch 1, 2, maybe 3 highlights of bad calls that go the Chiefs' way. But I mean, I was just showing Sanders a whole bunch of film before the show about holding penalties, the non-pass
Yeah.
interference. There was like at least 3 pass interference calls that should have went against the Chiefs. Bogus
Nah.
phantom holding penalties against the Saints. I mean, come on, man. Even if you play legit, you just throwing all that out the window with these referees. You don't
out
not,
the window. Yeah,
not
that-
even
that
covering it
Michael,
up. Not even covering
Michael
up.
Jordan syndrome.
Okay.
You breathe on them.
And it's
They like
they're not even look at the Giants game. I guess wide receiver made a horrendous, a fantastic catch and play first down. He gets up, does the first down thing, and he gets penalized on sportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah. Well, football is getting to where you can't realize it
Yeah.
anymore.
Oh, the play, the first kickoff. I was like, who was offside? I didn't when I kept watching.
Oh, yeah, for the Steelers.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Dude,
I was like,
that was so minute. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
And on Sanders' note, we talked about this and he hit it on that. I mean, 100% was right. If you look at that video, that stop photo that they show you where he may not been offside. I mean, it's so minuscule with a photo. And Sanders says, well, how are they going to call that with the naked eye?
Yeah, you can't.
Think about that for a second.
Because I watched it. I watched it over and over. I was like,
but how are you supposed to call that with the naked eye? You can't.
Yeah.
There's no way unless you throw the flag and say, yep, it was offsides. Bring it back.
Yeah.
You know, I got a question for you gentlemen.
Okay.
I want to know y'all honest opinion because this team is doing some damage. It's my son's team, the Minnesota Vikings. What do y'all think about them?
Well, I'll tell you right now, they have a whole new offensive scheme with Sam Darnold in there that defenses weren't prepared for. And talking about this is going to burn San Fran Steve's butt, but now teams they know how Brock Purdy plays now. And we used to get into it, and Steve knows how I feel about Brock Purdy. I was never impressed with him at all. And I was telling him, I said, look, you take away his weapons, he's just an average quarterback. And now that he's starting to get his weapons back instead of McCaffrey, teams are knowing how to defend him, and it's not working anymore. And once defenses find out and how to play Sam Darnold, now we know Sam Darnold played for multiple teams. I think he just came from the Jets, not a good offensive line, comes to Minnesota, does fantastic. So now defense is going to start learning his style in Minnesota, which is obviously different from New York or where he played before that, because certain offensive run a certain way. Okay. And once you get to a team like Minnesota is widespread, open, fast paced, and now you're into that run and gun stuff, it's working. But I'm telling you, teams are going to pick up on it. And
now with that said, you're right. You are absolutely right. Because that climaxed in his first year and hasn't been back. Hasn't got past that hump.
Nope.
And you're absolutely right. But Minnesota, even their defense is balling. You know.
Well, that division.
Pretty impressed with them.
That division is not a joke anymore, like it used to be, with the Packers, the Lions, the Bears, and the Vikings. So now you got all top tier teams. Chicago's still struggling, and I really think I was never a Caleb Williams fan, but to overstep Jaden Daniels and to pick him, I'm pretty sure they're kicking themselves in the ass. But if you look at the Commanders, Jesus.
Yeah.
And their history of falling apart and not being very good, and you got a rookie down there, and he's tearing up the league.
Bringing it together.
Right. And
he's my divisional rivalry, but I like him so much, I'll probably get his jersey, man.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. And my fantasy team, I picked him up late in the draft as a backup to Jordan Love because
wow.
Yeah. So guess who's sitting my bench and guess who's playing? And I'm still losing.
Right.
Yep.
And it's difficult for me to say this because if you look at my fantasy team, I'm the terrible Towel Titans, and I played Rochester Cowboys. That's the Cowboy lover. And on the day that the Cowboys beat the Steelers, he beat me and we lost to you guys. So it was a very, very heartbreaking, heart-wrenching day for me.
Yeah.
Say, man, you got to get him a lollipop, man.
Lollipop.
A hug would be nice. A hug would be nice.
Man, hey, but
well, you gentlemen keep doing the work you're doing, man. I love the show. I'm so proud of y'all. I love the engagement. I love the little, the trash talk we have. Yippee-ki-yay!
Well, you know what? If you listen, okay, because I was expecting a different call tonight. You may be receiving a package in the mail. Don't open it. You might want to call your local police department or bomb squad. I don't know. But if you get a package that says Merry Christmas, open now, don't do it. Don't even open it at all. Don't even call UPS or whatever. Tell them to come pick it up. Wrong address.
I'll return to sender.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I said that's my boy Cowboy Kenny again. Stopping by Still Nation Live. Talk crazy trash about his Cowboys, and they deserved it. And like I said, much kudos to them. I don't know how they're gonna do it in the next game versus Detroit Lions, but we'll see. Get them out.
We're not.
Oh Lord.
All right, my boy Cowboy Kenny.
Gentlemen.
I think Reggie Fresh might be trying to get in soon. So
Yeah. So tell Reggie Fresh how it feels to be lassoed up by a cowboy.
Oh my God. I'm done.
all right, my brother.
All right, y'all have a good one, gentlemen.
We'll see you next week.
Love the show. Keep it up.
Man,
Man.
this is rough for us.
Yeah, it is rough. But
This is
we're
tough.
gonna have to take it. We're gonna have to take it.
Take it on the chin.
Hey guys, you know what? We're gonna go quickly to a commercial break because I want to get some. We got a couple more things I want to answer, and also a couple things we want to answer is what happened to Roman Wilson?
Roman Wilson.
Also, Patrick Queen. Where the hell is he at?
It is Halloween.
Yeah, that's true. Next steps for the Steelers to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. We'll see you up in a couple minutes here on
Check out
Still
this
Nation Live.
commercial.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I'm a champion for inclusion. I'm raising funds and awareness for Best Buddies, an organization that creates opportunities for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Please help me reach my funding goals and donate to my campaign. Thanks for your help, Dave and Katie.
In today's complex legal system, not all attorneys are the same. Ganguly Brothers Law combines knowledge, practical court experience, and skill to help you, regardless of the nature of your case. At Ganguly Brothers Law,
put your trust in us.
Hey guys, like I said, we had to do our thing, run the commercials. So we got them all.
Had to
We
pay
got
some bills.
Yeah, you always got to pay some bills. And like I said, also that first one, you gotta support that guy. He's out there doing things, supporting young people out there. Dave, what I had a commercial on, and it's a great thing. Look him up and make sure you rerun back through the commercial and everything, and
Scan that
QRC code,
Scan
and do it up. Then GoFundMe. But James, like I said, the people writing on the board, Patrick Queen has been a big disappointment. That's what Carl Colangelo said.
Yes, let's talk about that for a second.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to say because
it's very disappointing. Very
I
disappointing.
didn't see him as being disappointing.
Listen.
Well, maybe the Cowboy game. We had a bad game.
No, I mean, his name is, well, I think it has a lot to do with, trying to compete with TJ Watt. And all you hear is TJ Watt, TJ Watt, TJ Watt. You don't hear Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen, one of the most prolific linebackers in the NFL. Hands down. This guy plays east, west, north, south. Wherever the ball is, you could expect this guy, and you expect to get hit and hit hard. But the Pittsburgh Steelers, the opportunity to even have the opportunity to sign this guy from a division rival coming from the Baltimore Dirty Bird Ravens to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers, I was in shock that we got this guy. 3 years, $41 million. And I mean, I know we've only played a few games into the season. We played 5 games. That should be enough. He wears the green dot, should be enough to get him out there. And has he made some plays? Absolutely. He's made some plays, but not the Patrick Queen plays. This guy is just a fear monger on the field. Players are scared to run his direction. He's not afraid to take him. He kind of reminds me of Harrison in a way. Not as, muscular built, but this guy's big. He's tough. He's strong. And if he hits you, you're going to remember. You might even go to the hospital. Not sure. You might find a room in a blue tent on the sideline. But with saying that, I mean, maybe my expectations are too high. Maybe. No, they're not. He needs to get out there. And if anybody gets past Hayward or Watt, that he should be there. He's one of the best cover linebackers in the NFL, hands down. Show me another player right now who could top Patrick Queen. Not too many, maybe a handful out of the whole NFL. And it's just, I don't think he has any sacks this year. He might have a few, not sure. And this guy is just, when he's on the field, he he raises hell, wreaks havoc out on the field. And as a Pittsburgh Steelers defensive team, haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but that all goes to that goes to saying now. Remember, now we got injuries coming up now, right?
Oh, sure. I'm waiting for him to hit the list.
Yeah. So we got all these injuries coming up now on the defensive side of the ball. And for some reason, which I don't understand with the Pittsburgh Steelers, that they're not blitzing more. And maybe that's to cover up the deficiencies in the secondary, because now we got a lot of top level guys that's slowly fading out. And think about it. There's a lot of times where Dak had too much time. And I believe that would have been a different turning point in the game if the Steelers would have blitzed more. Yeah. And that fourth down play, I would have blitzed him. I would have just blitzed him.
Absolutely.
Make him get rid of that ball immediately.
And if history repeats itself, and Dak cannot handle pressure. And even without pressure, he throws the ball away. He fumbles, he gets nervous. He just, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's just to be watching the game and like watching when they blitz, what I know they need rest. I know you can't blitz every play, but that's why the coaches have to like switch players in and out, get some fresh legs in there. Blitz. If you let the quarterback sit back there and pick our secondary apart,
anybody can pick you
We're
up.
Weak right now.
Right.
We are so weak. We just signed James Pierre last week. He was sitting on the couch at home. We released him. And I mean, he was, prolific special teamer, gunner. I mean, and he did some great defensive safety work. Yeah. But now he comes back. He has worked in, I can't even tell you how long.
Right.
And he's starting in our secondary. And he's a great player. I don't want to knock him, but I mean, that's a situation that the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively are in. That's why you cannot let the quarterback, you cannot just rush three. You cannot sit back and expect the quarterback to make mistakes every throw. They're going to kill you. And on third down, our third down percentage on defense is I think almost one of the worst in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
And it's not a stat that you should be proud of. It's not a stat that you want, but it's unfortunately a stat that we have right now. So if we don't get to the quarterback, our defense is going to be on there for a long time.
Well, and that's the thing. The Steelers have to recognize that we got to make changes. I mean, I think we might have to turn to a blitz heavy team right now. Because if you sit there, and I know why they were doing it. The first couple games, our front four was causing havoc on the first three games. I mean, the pocket was always being pushed backwards. So that gave the secondary. It didn't matter who you had back there. Those guys were covering. They were getting ready to start picking off passes. They were doing different things. But now it's not like that. So you got to adjust. So that means you got to go heavy blitz, because now you got guys out there. You got Beanie Bishop back there. These young guys. And that's what a lot of these guys don't understand. That's why I guess
frustrating.
Yeah.
Angry.
Pittsburgh's a young team, and not just that you're a young team. We got guys who just got drafted, who we had to immediately. Pittsburgh was always a team that would make a guy sit back and kind of learn. But now we got guys that we have to just get them from the draft board and say, boom, yep. You starting. And there are players that do that in the NFL, but Pittsburgh we're not a club that has been traditionally built like that, because we like these guys to get it in, learn the game, learn the different aspects of football, and know what it is to be a champion, A, B, C, D. But now, because of injuries and different things, so we had to throw those guys in there. So that's a different turning point for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, let's talk about the offensive side of the ball, like we said as well. Roman Wilson. What the heck is going on with Roman Wilson? I mean, Pittsburgh needs another receiver, another number two receiver. The fact is, you get so many reports, James, that either Roman Wilson is ready or he's not ready. He took snaps, or he's not in game shape yet. What the heck was he doing? I mean, what the heck is going on?
I don't know. The thing that bothers me is that how everybody's so hush on Roman Wilson. I mean, if anybody knows who he is, I mean, third round draft choice. We talked about this earlier in the show, that how he even fell to the third round is unbelievable. He's one of the most prolific wide receivers in college football, playing the University of Michigan, and that's no slouchy Division I team. They're, national champion level Michigan Wolverines. I'm not a fan. Go blue. I'm not a fan. Penn State. We are Penn State. I know that. But just to see the caliber and quality of this receiver, reminds me of a young Hines Ward. And what I mean by that, slot receiver, he's not afraid to cross in the middle. He's not afraid of contact. He's a great route runner. He's fast after the catch, what we need. Good luck trying to catch him in the secondary if he gets past you. Great hands. He's just great football IQ. And I don't understand for the life of me why this kid is not playing. Will he take all the pressure off Pickens? I don't know. Probably not. And what the good thing is that these teams don't know how or who he is and how he's going to handle the NFL, which is beneficial to him. But he has to get on the field. He has to make plays. He has to get involved somehow. Punt returns, kickoff returns. I mean, you name this kid could do it all, but give him the opportunity. He's not the biggest guy in the world. I think he's 5'10", 196, maybe 205. I don't know. A couple pounds here, a couple pounds there. Going to Pittsburgh, eating some pierogies. I don't know. And some kielbasa. Whatever it takes. You know what I'm saying? Just give him a chance. And it's just, like I said, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose? Put him in the game.
Why is it so quiet?
They said on the board, they said, we don't have even a number one receiver. And I agree. I mean, because right now with what's going on with Pickens, like you said earlier at the beginning of the show, Pickens, the only problem I have with Pickens is that you can't let your frustration boil over to where you just start playing lackadaisical. And I don't understand that. You come to a team where their tradition is where you look at the receivers like Hines Ward. You look at these other guys who got titles like we're spoiled. Stallworth.
We're spoiled.
Yeah, but the thing about it, that's it. That's what it is. These guys, he's got to know if I'm not getting open, let me do the other tangibles. Block. Let me do the other things. Hines Ward never got like 15 to 25 catches a game sometimes, and if he didn't, he was out there making devastating, nasty blocks.
Right.
That's what. And he was getting highlights from him. Look at Juju Smith. I mean, Juju. Juju was out there. He didn't catch a ball sometime. Juju was out there knocking people out. Yeah. It's all about what you want. I wouldn't mind getting Juju back, to be honest, because Juju was a guy who would go across the middle. He turned out to be a tough receiver. Yeah. I mean, so Pittsburgh, we got to find somebody. And to me, honestly, I wouldn't get somebody out there. I like what your idea of Hopkins and things like that.
And Devontae Adams.
I think Devontae Adams is just way too much money. And if we're going to have to give up so much just to get him.
No, actually, to what the word on the street is, and this is Steel Nation Live, and we got the ends, we got the contacts that a trade would be permissible. This is from Adams and the Raider Nation, a second round pick and some compensation, something for him, for Devontae Adams. For second round pick next year. And we talked about this. And if you take in actuality what you're getting as opposed to what you're losing in a draft pick. So look at all the draft picks. How many draft picks of late, recent years, have panned out to where we're like, wow, so glad we got this guy. This is one of the best draft picks ever. Lately hasn't been happening. We lose a second round pick, probably something in the upper 50s, lower 60s. But with Devontae Adams, you know what you're getting. And it's not going to be like maybe a 2-year deal, maybe a 1-year deal, just to see what and if he performs, then you could talk contract. If not, then if you're really out there and you're really into the draft, third through fifth round is really actually where you get your solid draft picks, the players who are going to be effective down the road in the future. Number one draft picks rarely amount to anything. Only, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. May take a couple of years to get acclimated to the NFL. But your 3, 4, and 5 draft picks, that's the meat and potatoes of your team. That's the solid guys that are going to play and be on your team for a while. So if we give up a second round, hey, sometimes you got to roll dice. You know what I mean? To make an omelet, some eggs have to be broken.
Oh boy, here we go.
You got that? Write that down, pal.
Write that down. Okay, like we said, and I agree with you totally. But James, we do got to realize that the Steelers going to need all hands on deck this weekend. Huge game versus the Raiders. No matter what you call the Raiders, they're looking in dismay, this and that. But we all know how the Pittsburgh Steelers do. We played on to the level of our competition.
Right.
We go out there and our team is 0-9. We're going to play them down to the wire because we love exciting football.
Oh, sure, we do.
And the thing about it is, James, a lot of guys for the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be out this week, and we'll go down the list of some of them.
Yeah, linebacker Nick Herbig is huge, coming in for Highsmith. He got hurt. These are the players who are going to be out for the Raiders. DeMarvin Leal out with a neck injury, and Cordell Patterson still out with that ankle injury, and Highsmith, he's out with a groin. So now we have Peyton Wilson, who would normally take in the inside linebacker. He's going to be doing some edge work, and hopefully we're going to pick some guys off the practice squad, players who are doubtful. Jalen Warren, doubtful with that knee injury. Tight end Michael Pruitt, knee, and DeMonte Casey, ankle. Safety, he's huge for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now coming into this game in LA, Las Vegas against the Raiders, right now I would say would be a make it or break it for the season. I know it's early, 3-2. We can't continue season 3-3. However, folks, if you look about the extended schedule of the Pittsburgh Steelers after the Raiders, we come back home, we host the Jets and the Giants. 2 winnable, very winnable games. So if you think in actuality, you look at the schedule right now, we're 3-2. Before the bye, we got the Raiders away, we got the Jets at home, and we got the Giants at home. Then we go on the bye. We can actually be 6-2 by bye week. I know it sounds crazy, but I'll take 5-3. I'll take that. But we have the possibility, folks, playing the Raiders, beating them, the Jets, and the Giants, and being 6-2. So without that, without something else to be said right there, Sanders, I predict it's going to be a close game. The Steelers win in Las Vegas 23-20, and that's going to be like a garbage touchdown late in the game to make it close, 23-20 Pittsburgh Steelers.
23-20 Steelers. You know what? I'm going to go out on a limb this game, man. I'm going to be honest. I think the Steelers need to actually blitz heavy. They'll have a young quarterback in there. In Pittsburgh, you've got injuries all over the place, so you can't give anybody time. You know what? What was the difference in the game versus the Colts is when Pittsburgh started blitzing and stop letting Flacco just sit back there and pick you apart. And that's what it was. They started making their comeback. How did they start making their comeback? They started doing heavy pressure on Flacco. You should notice, you played Flacco for years. Every time you pressured him, every time the Steelers sacked him and went nuts on him, he was all over the place with that ball. And that's what you have to do. You can't sit back there and you let any quarterback in today's NFL sit back, be able to peruse the field. You're done. I don't care who you are. I don't even care who the quarterback is. Even Justin Fields, to be honest, at times can sit back there, and he had a decent game. The guy was throwing for all kind of levels versus the Colts that game when he had a huge day. And you know what? How about that? Moving Watt around. Moving Watt around is huge. Like you said, James, getting Watt coming off from different angles, not always where he is, where you want before a play starts, they got to say, yeah, carry one, carry two, no, that's what you want. You want disruption. Pittsburgh's got to step up to that game, and you've got to show different. I will say this, the game versus the Dallas Cowboys, they started off throwing a long pass on first play of the game. I loved it.
Beautiful.
I loved it.
We talked about that.
Yeah. Even if you don't do anything, you got to keep them honest.
Yeah.
So, and they did. They made that move. They threw a long pass in the game. He missed. He missed a couple open receivers, as far as I'm concerned.
Oops.
You got a guy 6'7", tight end out there, big guy Washington. You miss him. But you know what? I think things eventually will work itself out. All Steelers fans frustrated. I'm frustrated. I watched the game just like you guys. I become, sick to my stomach. Like James said, you can't even turn on the TV and watch a game in peace. Just drink back here. Oh, Steelers up by 20. The Steelers up by 20. No. They're either fighting or they're kicking field goals. Boswell, MVP of the team.
Wizard of Boz.
Yeah.
Wizard of Boz.
But the Steelers have to make changes. And I said, number one, it starts with that blitzing on the defense. And number one, if you're going to use the middle of the field, you did it the last game versus the Colts. I don't understand it. And it's like they just got away from it and they start throwing the ball way out here, way out there. Use the middle of the field. If you're gonna stay with this young quarterback, and it is what it is. we're a young team. I mean, if you were looking for us to go to the Super Bowl, you got to be nuts. I mean, come on. Just because we're winning, we're 3-0. We got a young rookie line. We got this and that. Wake up. I just want them to play well. I just want them to be a proven positive product for us, for our teams, for the guys who wear the jersey. And you know what? And I think they can be that. They just got to build off of whatever momentum they got. Stop backsliding. If you're gonna use this guy, use him. If you're gonna go to Wilson, then go to Wilson. But just don't do all this back and forth stuff. Don't go Wilson.
That'd be the worst.
Next week we'll go back to him. Next week, then you're making more of a mess. You remember that when we had Duck Dodgers. We had all what do we have? 2 or 3 quarterbacks that season?
Bobby Brister.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like I said, but right now, if they get rid of all that stuff like that, I believe that the Pittsburgh Steelers can be successful winning this game. And I'm going to say like a 27-23 game. And I wish I could say less, by more than that. But, it's been a struggle for us to score points. But I believe the Steelers can possibly score points. And what they need to do is they got to have a sit-down meeting with that offensive line. Tell them what plays you like. They did it last season. For some reason, when they had that meeting, and they got it going. I mean, Najee talked to him, asked him, what do you like to run? What do you like to do? What do you like to bounce off? All that stuff. They met and they found a way to get the line gelling in that game. They even played a phenomenal game. To be honest, they lost that playoff game versus the Buffalo Bills, but it was a good game. I mean, they had chances to come back in that game. We had a turnover, which kind of when we were trying to make a comeback in that game, unbelievably, with Mason Rudolph. And, who's actually doing pretty well himself out there. He just won a game with the Titans. So, like I said, I believe 27-23, Pittsburgh Steelers winning over the Raiders. And I believe it'll be a good game, James. I mean, so we'll see. I mean, hopefully we're sitting back here next week in positive mood. I mean,
high hopes. I mean, like I said, you do the math. I mean, we could be 6-2 at the bye week, and it's not crazy or ridiculous to even suggest that, even though the Pittsburgh Steelers are playing the way they are. I think this game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are due for a blowout game on our side. I mean, let's think about this. We really open up this offense and shut down their offense with our defense, and like you said, move Watt around and do a lot of stuff on defense we're not normally doing, just blitz. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers, if we have a good, solid game, okay, on both sides of the ball, even special teams is huge. I mean, we finally have an amazing punter, like I said, that's huge, that people don't even consider that as a statistic. If we kick the ball deep in their territory.
I like that guy when we had him last season. A couple seasons ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, it takes the other team longer, puts them in bad field position, and that's very helpful to your team. So I really, really hope the Pittsburgh Steelers get out of this funk to what they're in. It's not dire. It's not desperation, but we haven't broke the glass in case of emergency yet. But it's the Pittsburgh Steelers as a whole needs to have that one game to get us going.
Exactly. Hey guys, like we said, another show in the books here on Steeler Nation Live. You know what? Tough pill to swallow, but we're going to move forward and hopefully move forward in a positive way by starting off beating the Raiders and continue on down that. By the time we're in that bye, Steelers are winning, and hopefully before our big games come up in the division. So again, guys, we'll be here next Tuesday. Big talk on Steeler Nation Live from Sanders Tisdale
and James Owen. Don't forget Monday, Columbus Day. I don't know. You celebrate?
I don't know. What do you do?
But hey, it's a holiday. We're not working.
That's the best part. So we see you on Tuesday on Steeler Nation Live.